All please stand. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for participating tonight. We got a little wet getting in here, made it exciting, so that's good. We'll call the regular Board of Education of the Harvey Public Schools to order for September at 7 p.m. Are there any additions to the agenda?
The only ones I thought they're under items for discussion or possible action, I thought elementary grant and business manager position, we'd scratch them for the time being. Elementary grants, there wasn't, the person who I thought was going to come and discuss it didn't really feel the need to do so anymore. Business manager position, obviously we still have, that's up in the air, so we're going to hold up on that for the time being. I added item number 5 there, formation of a wellness committee. When we look back at our August regular board meeting minutes, we discussed the formation of that wellness committee during this particular meeting, so I added that to it. The other thing I added was the mill levy request. We do have one more regular school board meeting before that request is cutoff date, but it's only by a couple of days. I figured if we're going to be good with it, or at least try it out tonight if we're good with it, and then we can get it submitted earlier. So.
Okay. Any other additions? Any other additions? If not, I would accept the motion to approve the agenda.
Hold on.
Yep.
Do we need to add something for Sarah? I forgot to read this. I'm just reading it now.
I think we discussed that we should probably wait till the next meeting because we didn't really get a chance to see that yet.
Okay.
And I think, and my original plan was to have Mike introduce her, and she was going to speak under Mike's program, but she couldn't come tonight.
But even if, yeah, even if we did that, if we were going to make a motion of something, would we have to have her?
Are you okay? I think we should wait until the next meeting.
Seen it.
I don't know if it's time.
I haven't even had a chance to speak myself, so.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess I think you haven't, and Jim said he hasn't.
yeah, I don't know if it's time
Sensitive.
sensitive. Thank you.
I'm not, but after talking to her and reading it again, I'm not so sure it is.
When did they start?
Well, they're kind of, I don't really know this. I mean, they're in here all the time. So, it's kind of, FedWorks has changed a lot of stuff, and that's maybe some of it I can talk about.
Okay, we're good? Good? Okay, can I have a motion then to accept it?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second? Okay, probably move a second. We approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion of the agenda then we have in front of you that we just discussed by Mr. Loft is approved. Okay, we're going to start with letter D there. Superintendent review of goals and goal progress measures.
So, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of the things in visiting with Sue that's kind of going through our board training here, she thought it's been a while since you guys adopted your goals for our student-centered board meetings. So we thought it would be worthwhile to kind of review what you guys adopted. I believe it was back in spring of 24, if my memory serves me correctly. So looking at those goals, I haven't completed the goal progress measures yet because I'm still collecting data from both the elementary and the high school to make sure those are realistic and also attainable. So goal number 1 was specific to Choice Ready, and I handed that out to you guys. It says, goal number 1, the percentage of graduates who meet Choice Ready status according to the North Dakota Insights will increase from 80% in May of 2024 to 90% in May of 2029. So that is something that you guys, I believe, adopted that particular spring. Goal number 2 relates specifically to proficiency in the area of reading as measured by the North Dakota State Assessment, which which has now changed to the NDA plus assessment, will increase from 58% in May of 2024 to 78% in May of 2029. And then the third and final one, the percentage of students in grades 3 through 8 and 10 who achieve proficiency in math as measured by the NDA plus assessment will increase from 47% in May of 24 to 67% in May of 2029. So each of those particular goals has progress measures that go along with it that I will be developing, or they're already in place. They were previously developed, but I'm going to be running through them and tweaking them to see if they're, number one, attainable, but number two, if they're realistic and something that I feel is going to add value to those goals that you guys set. So just as an example, one of the goal progress measures for goal 1 with the choice ready, goal progress measure number 1.3, it says the percentage of juniors who have met at least 2 requirements for workforce ready with a documented plan to meet the requirements for workforce ready will increase from 90% in May of 2024 to 95% in May of 2029. So I'll be running through all these goal progress measures. I have a few meetings set up with Sue between now and our next meeting to run through them. Like I said, I've been trying to collect some data to see where we stand as far as our latest achievement measures, to kind of tweak those to present them to you guys at our October board meeting. They're not something that our school board has to approve, they just have to accept them, if that makes sense. So that's just kind of a refresher on where we stand with our implementation workbook, with our goals and goal progress measures and things of that nature. So just thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of remind you where we stood on that. It's been a little while since we've dug into it, and I've kind of made it one of my priorities to get this up and running again. So,
And I feel like I think it's good that you look at it, because we want goals, but I also don't want them to be unrealistic and too hard.
Yes.
For the staff to achieve.
Now, and my understanding is that these goals that you guys establish can always be adjusted, if that makes sense. Obviously, by the school board specifically, but I'm fully committed to. I'm okay with us setting the bar high, but I also want that bar to be realistic and something that I feel our school district can achieve. So, any questions on that? And if you have some and I can't answer it, I will try to answer in a follow-up email or phone call or something along those lines.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Rock? Any questions?
So are you gonna bring an update of, where we are in 2025?
Yes, that is what I'm working on right now.
Okay. Everybody good? Okay. There was nobody signed up to be community speakers tonight, so we'll move on then to letter F. Is there a motion for consent agenda? Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, is there a second? Already moved in second, we approve the consent agenda.
I request we pull off the bills.
Go ahead.
I request we pull off the bills.
Okay. Any question to pull off the bills? Anything else? Okay, so if I'll get this wrong, I should have asked if anything wanted to be pulled out. But so repeat that the motion is on the floor then to approve consent agenda with the exception of the bills. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Everybody good with that? Okay. So the bills have been pulled off and will be talked about later time. So then the consent agenda will include the second readings and the board minutes and the approval of the Johnson controls. Any discussion? Discussion. All in favor then of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion opposed? Consent agenda passes, and then with those are all approved. Okay, so now we will do, and again, let's do this right. Let's have a motion to approve the bills.
I make a
I make a motion to approve the bill.
Okay, a second?
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, so there's a motion, James, second by Colette, to approve the bills. And then we can ask questions or discussion on the bills.
I guess one thing I was curious about is, what is all that work Keller did?
It's a great question. I mean, you can come in and look at them. I don't know off the top of my head. Half the time I can't read his writing, to be honest with you.
It's been a lot of maintenance on one of the fuel oil boilers. They had to do some testing on some of the material, and I know there's some routine maintenance that went along with that. But they have been working pretty diligently to make sure that that's up and running by when needed. So.
If you ever see me just put repair work, I probably can't read it. So that's me being honest. Because if I can read it, I'll write it. Like some of them are like elementary, high school, boiler, or something like that. But if it just says repair work, I probably can't read it.
I wonder if some of it was maybe used on some.
But they're all in there. Where you come
Yeah,
look at
sure.
it.
Did he just present all of them at once?
Well, yeah, Gary comes and just gives me a envelope with all of them in there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did.
So the T-trailer, I assume that's the new, and that's in and out,
Football trailer.
Yeah,
that was sponsored or whatever?
yeah, that was paid for, we paid for the wrap by $100. Eagles Club paid the 500 or something like that.
Okay, another question, so when we talked about getting a J1, which we never really kind of went over that properly, but I had made a comment that I wanted to know what kind of costs there were involved before we did that. And I see there's almost $2,800 program fee. Is that for getting him over here with the
It's part of the processing. Is it listed specifically for any, is it like Green Heart or something along those lines?
CET program service?
Yeah, that was it.
It's on the visa.
Yeah. That was, that came to me via email and they said I had to pay it as part of his.
Yeah, I do remember us talking about it.
I remember us talking about, there was a number that was given.
You're right.
And I actually think this is less than the number that we were given.
And on board meeting?
Yep.
I thought I remembered something like that.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what number he gave, but he said something about it.
I don't remember the number.
You don't remember a number
I
either?
really don't,
Oh, okay, well,
I guess I thought
I
I knew
know.
it.
Packet is
okay, well.
do you have paper
Because I
airfare too?
didn't notice that.
No, we will pay.
Well,
I think, but you could attest to that.
Yeah, so in talking, I just got an email today from a gal that's working with him. So how it has historically worked with that particular entity, it would be that they use a travel agent for his commute here. The school would pay upfront that airline ticket, which can be essentially taken out of his teacher wages throughout the course, or teacher salary, whatever the case may be. So essentially he'd be funding it himself, but we'd be doing the upfront.
So is this all the fees, or are there going to be more?
The only other one I got, the email I got today, it's just a $40.50 processing fee to help get his 40-day preliminary license moving.
And that's through
ESP.
ESPB.
Yeah.
Could we just, like his contract, I mean, it's gonna have to be, I mean, I know he signed one, but I know we have to redo one now because he obviously isn't doing 183 days.
Right.
Can we just put that on there? Because we'll probably have to prorate his contract anyway, so then could we just put the cost
That
of the
was-
flight,
yes.
take it off, and then that way it's just easier that you don't have to do a little deduction every month, it's just
That's kind of
whatever,
Yeah,
this
we
is
can
what your
set it
net
up like
amount
that.
would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can totally.
Okay. I just thought it might be easier for you.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, then, as long as that we're getting it.
Okay, so my other question is, Zane had mentioned to me that there are problems canceling ChatGPT. What's our status?
Good question. I just got First National built today for credit. Well, not today, just the other day. I was working on it today, and it's not on there, so I think it worked.
Oh,
But I'll let you know if something's different. But I haven't, ever since the very last one, I haven't done any more. Like ever since we spoke, there's not been any others.
That's all I have.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Discussion? All in favor of paying the bills, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, then we'll now go to letter G then. We'll start with the superintendent's report. Mr. Watt?
So everybody should have a copy on that. Facility updates, we've had a little bit of a rodent issue in the high school kitchen. I've reached out to a few different pest control companies. I do have Orkin coming in on Monday to do a full assessment of the building. The goal is obviously to eradicate them initially and then more than likely set up a service contract with them as preventative maintenance moving forward. It is a little bit alarming to have a mouse issue in the building this early in the season, but we just think obviously that's something that we really want to address early and stay on top of it. So we got them coming in Monday. We got an estimate for the elementary windows that were kicked out last summer. So we're going to look at getting those repaired. We're waiting on a replacement auger for the coal boiler for here at the high school. As soon as it's ready, we'll get it picked up and have Al from Johnson Controls get it installed. Enrollment sits at 383 district-wide, which is very similar to last year. I think in ND Insights we were reported at 381. Power outage on September 19th. We had a little over $1,500 in spoiled food. And in talking with the gal, it's interesting because it must be underwritten by it's called Hartford Boiler. She called and said that loss, we power was out for 13 and a half hours approximately, and they won't cover that loss unless the power was out for 24 hours or greater. So I'm still kind of visiting with Fry Insurance to see if we have any options there. Because it's completely out of our hands. I don't know where we stand on that. But we had our first NCEC board meeting on September 3rd in Minot. Nice to be able to visit with teacher or superintendents in our REA. That was followed by the Northwest Superintendent League meeting that was also held in Minot that day. It was a big collective. I would say there were 35 or 40 superintendents there. It's just nice to be able to build that network and bounce ideas off of people. Our first early outs tomorrow. NCEC will be here to discuss the MTSS process with staff. Parent-teacher conferences will be held October 13th through 15th. Is that correct, I believe? Our electric bus is in service. Harlow's, along with the rep from IH, we're here to go over the specific details of some of the transportation staff. Guardrails passage with tonight's discussion on the goals this evening. We'll be looking at passage of the guardrails at the regular October meeting, and goal progress measures, I should say. Budget-wise, you approved the budget at the August meeting. Zane and I did find a couple of small discrepancies that are actually beneficial in our budget. So later on, under items for possible action, we'll be looking at potentially reapproving the budget. And then staffing, I just kind of gave you guys a little update on our J1. He could be here potentially this weekend, if not early next week. In the meantime, Mr. Shumway is doing a really nice job getting the kids interested in music. I know he had pep band at the football game this past Friday. It sounds like he's going to have pep band at the volleyball game tomorrow. So,
That was nice.
yeah, it's really been nice. And it's, once Franz gets here, Mr. Shumway will wanted to keep him on for a couple of weeks to get him up to speed on where we've been, where we're at, where we've been, and just kind of the direction that program's been moving. So that's all I have this evening.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Law? If not, I would take it, I would accept the motion to entertain it, to approve this report. Accept this report, yeah?
I'll make a motion to accept the superintendent's report.
Second.
Okay, moved by Claude, second by James, to accept Mr. Law's superintendent's report. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay, Mr. Cass.
So I sent out video. I do have two small additions that I would just want to keep you up on. I did talk about Jordan Beckley helping with our health program. One part I did leave out is she's teaching Stanford's You and Me Together Bake 3 as part of the 7th grade health curriculum, so I wanted to be aware of that. It's all in the letter that she's sending out, and she's working directly with Mr. Ryan, so that's one thing that I didn't talk about in there. And then the other thing is Mrs. Steichen has been working with a representative from World Classrooms, and what she's doing is, it's not a school-sponsored trip, but she's working with 7th and 8th graders, and what they would do is take a trip to Washington, D.C. in 2027. It's not a school-sponsored event, it is one of our teachers that's working directly with them to do it kind of through the school, so I just want you to be aware. The school's not doing any fundraising for it, the school's not doing any eligibility stuff for that, but I mean, it is, the information's coming that like, we're having a meeting at the school, it's coming through the kids to the school, so I just wanted you to be aware of those pieces. And then if you have any questions on anything, I'll go with your question. Happily answer.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Haas? I would entertain a motion to accept his report. Vanessa, second?
Second.
James? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I see Mr. Everybody's not with us tonight, so we will move directly to Mr. Crum.
Okay, yeah, you all got my report, I believe.
I was thinking.
Oh,
Did not.
we didn't get a report from him. We didn't get a report.
Yeah, it's online.
Oh, when did that come?
This is in the packet.
No, not mine.
Not mine.
Not mine.
Lynn got some more.
Wasn't on in my packet.
No, it's
Does anybody else
not.
have it?
That's not.
How did you get it, Vanessa? None else got it.
Here's how it happened: is that you guys got your packets before I got them printed out, before I received it.
Okay, I
So
totally apologize then.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't see it either,
So, we'll have to back up then.
Report.
Yeah, so we'll all get one of those and we'll send out, or is it on the online?
it is online.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't check online since I have it in my packet. Okay, so let's have a motion. I'm sorry about that, I didn't know. Okay,
Yeah.
let's have a motion to accept his report,
I'll
please.
move to accept it.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, properly moved and second to accept Mr. Everly's report. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, now Mr. Fromm.
Do you have my report?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not putting it in there in October.
Yeah, okay, so we did have a co-op committee meeting today. You know, things are moving well. They did ask to bring on to the agenda. Do we?
We'll probably put that on
We'll
October.
put that on in October. Okay, perfect, yeah.
Just to start to think about, they want to discuss the percentages that we pay, so.
Oh,
We'll get the exact numbers and so we'll discuss it in October then.
so is that agreement or?
It's, you know, it was something that was talked about last year. We never had any more committee meetings after the one between, that we just couldn't get together, and it got dropped. And it's really very, you know, it's very similar, like maybe 70-30 or
Well,
69.
I'm not
so it was
Last year was like,
like 69-31 was the enrollment difference. Right now it's 68.4 and 31.6. And the caveat being is that we had talked about it that's this same meeting last year, but in order for it to be accepted, both school boards have to accept that percentage of the fees or the expenses.
Not just one, it has to be
Right,
four.
I'm talking about working on that whole agreement that we keep talking about.
That's-
There's various versions.
We
out
actually
there.
did make another meeting to do that.
Okay.
November 12th, actually.
November 12th.
And that's why we thought it would give both of us have time to do a meeting and talk about the percentages if we want to or not.
Yeah.
Because then we told them, which so many of them are new that didn't realize that whichever district proposes something, both districts have to agree or it does not go through.
Right.
And a lot of them didn't, I think, realize that because
Yeah.
they've had quite a few new ones over there or whatever, so.
Yeah, I think, you know, Aaron, he touched on that bus, and yeah, you know, so far, it's looking good, and there's an app that we can monitor the electric, what it costs a day to charge. And so we're monitoring that, and we're at running $10 a day. And we were on that bus, on that same route that goes, basically, you go to Kidder County line or into, you know, Stipend's way up. We were anywhere from 14 to 17 gallons of diesel a day at $3.20 or so, you know, on our price. So there's good savings. It works because it was a grant. I mean, it works real well.
Yeah.
You know, buying it, Aaron showed up one day white-faced because we got a bill.
$280,000.
Yeah, it was really close.
389,000.
Yeah, and he was just almost shaking. This can't be right, is it? So we did that, and then to touch on the esports. You know, this one, like if you guys read the letter she sent, I'll just kind of outline it, but I think it's something that we do need to look at. I mean, states there's 20 kids in here, but there's probably 5, maybe 7 that aren't in any activity. So we have a lot of kids involved in esports that are involved in something else that will be their primary, that they will have to attend their primary sport versus the e-sport if it's in that week of where you can only be in so many activities in a week. And you know, they're looking at getting 5 new computers, $2,000, a little over 2,000, or possibly being able to have some adults that are parents work on the computers, maybe in the $1,200 to $1,300 range. The cost would be, and you know, I see the benefit of esports. I also see the problem of some of these sports where there is absolutely no way to generate any income, and we're only paying out, and that I get concerned about that. And so that has been my problem with that, because FenWorks and the North Dakota High School Activity Association, it will be a long time before they become an agreement, because FenWorks doesn't want to lose the money. They're making really good money. And you know, I was not here when it started. I was reading about it and learning about it, but you know, it was supposed to be a small deal where it was just online only and we never went. And now we travel, now we pay for hotel rooms, we pay for a lot of things. And I don't want to, you know, I would do it for any sport. I mean, I feel the same way in some of our, you know, we've had a hard time filling cross country. And just to get kids because they just want to go run and pay a coach and travel, and I don't feel that that's right, you know, to the citizens. I mean, if we have to go ask for money for things and we're spending money on things that maybe aren't right. So I'm not either way on this. I'm not pushing it and I'm not against it. I just would really like you guys to look really hard. When she brought it to me and wanted me to say yes or no, I was no. You know, this needs to become everybody needs to be in on this, because this could amount to a lot of money, because I do not see Fenworks giving that up, because the High School Activities Association will not pay Fenworks a nickel, and they have said that they won't pay them.